Hi, I'm Georgina Heffernan and I'm the Communications Manager for Capacity Ireland and I'm based here in Seville.
Hi, my name is Catherine Tighe and I'm from Ballina, County Mayo in Ireland, and I'm here doing a graphic design internship in Lab Sevilla in association with Capacity Ireland.
Hi, I'm Adam Carr. I'm from Waterford. I'm working in Totamuda as a 3D designer on the Erasmus Plus programme.
My name is Rachel Botha and I'm 25. I'm from Kilkenny in Ireland and I am a gallery assistant in Galleria Aracon Criado in Seville.
I'm here with Capacity Ireland and I'm doing an internship at Studio Wet. It's an architecture firm. I'm really interested in their design and over the last few weeks I've decided that I really want to get into set design and I really feel like it's going to help me achieve my goals.
So with Capacity Ireland, I am doing a course in entrepreneurship in the creative industries, while also doing my internship here in La Claqueta in a production company, and also through Erasmus Plus doing the Spanish language online course. So I get to practice and work in 3 different areas on the go, which is actually really interesting.
So the purpose of Capacity Ireland basically is to engage students, enlighten them through education and empower them moving forward with the sort of tools that will help them to turn their creative careers into the sort of business that will sustain them throughout their life.
Accommodation and flights to and from are looked after by Capacity Ireland, which is amazing, and we also get a monthly allowance that really goes a very long way here in Seville, where the cost of living is really cheap.
There was just so many great things about it that worked out for me. Firstly, working in a production company, practicing my Spanish, and the best thing of all was that it was opportunity that I could actually afford because accommodation was paid for, flight was paid for. So that allowed, it made it accessible and possible for me to come here, because without that I wouldn't have been able to do it.
So our course tutor is Katrine from Capacity Ireland, and she gives us a coursework to do and online lessons and a lot of support to learn about how we can professionalise the creative skills that we have.
Another wonderful thing about the experience that the Capacity Ireland offer is that not only do we get really great work experience, but we also get Spanish lessons, and we are also required to complete a certificate in entrepreneurship in the European creative industries, and it's been so helpful to break down creative work into very, very practical strands such as financial planning and personal branding, and really getting to feel out how valuable you are within the creative industries as a whole.
And it gives you the confidence to feel that your passion is a job as well and that you should get paid for it.
For me, what was really important about this placement was having the internship along with the business side of it and the course that we were doing in the entrepreneur in creative industries. That for me is really important because I have a lot of friends in the creative industries that know how to make a piece of work but don't know how to sell it. They don't know where to go once they've made it. And that for me was really key, to get a bit of an insight into that and to know where to go once I have an idea or once I've created a script or something like that.
And even now, after a few short weeks, I think I know a lot more and I can apply it to my own work.
So something like this, where everything is organised for you, is really exceptional.
I think Seville is particularly attractive, I mean obviously because of the climate, but also everything's at a great price point and your money stretches much further here in Seville. It's also a city that's alive with, culture, great architecture, great music. And I think that most of our students are really enjoying having a taste of authentic Spanish life.
Well, so far living and working in Seville has been a dream. It's actually just a beautiful city. Probably one of the first places I've been to where every single place you walk, you're like, this is so picturesque. I could take a picture here. Everything is picture perfect. It's really, really beautiful.
So my first impressions of Seville were actually the sense of smell. When you walk down the streets, you get that smell of oranges. And it's so fresh.
I like the size of Seville. It's easy to get around. Everyone gets around by bike, which is great. Just hop on and hop off. I also love all the architecture. It's steeped in so much history, and all of the streets are just absolutely amazing. Like all the lovely casas and little courtyards. The food is great. And the people are also really, really lovely as well. Everyone's just really chilled out and it's just such a nice vibe.
there's just a really thriving culture that's here, that's like really accessible and really easy to understand, because usually it's not too alienating for foreigners as well.
It's a really beautiful city. I didn't really know much about before. I didn't expect to be so overwhelmed all the time by just how amazing the colours of all the architecture is, all the plants. Everything just seems to be growing at an amazing rate here, and because it's summer as well and the heat, it just gives a whole atmosphere of life and like exuberance, and just everything that you look at can be inspiring in some way.
Being able to sit out is so nice. Being able to sit outside restaurants or cafes and have a meal is just, it never gets old. It's a really great experience, and like you can enjoy all the food here because it is so cheap. It's really affordable.
So different from Ireland. We had a really long winter, and I think everyone was getting a bit down, so I'm so thankful for that vitamin D. The contrast from doing a internship in Dublin or anywhere else, just amazing.
So part of being here is learning Spanish, and 3SI give us a Spanish lesson once a week, and we also have access to an online Spanish support, like language support system, so you can do it at home as well. And then obviously living your life here, you can talk to anyone on the street. You're going to be in situations where you need to use whatever Spanish you have, and they're very good about listening to you and helping you with it here. It's a really supportive place to learn a language, definitely. And the Spanish people are really lovely people to speak to.
I find everyone's super helpful, and I think they're really impressed and glad that you're trying to speak their language.
The classes are perfect for my level and are challenging and actually teaching me things that I need, like day to day, like how to deal with someone in a supermarket, you know, in that kind of situation.
So being here is really amazing because day to day I'm using my Spanish, and I feel like you can only ever really learn a language when you're immersed in a country where they speak the language. So here for me, waking up in the morning, going to my local cafe to get a coffee and having to communicate with the people through Spanish, then getting to work, working with my colleagues and speaking in Spanish, learning and reading scripts through Spanish, learning how to do production work through Spanish, doing shooting schedules in Spanish. I'm learning a lot of words and vocabulary that I would have never been familiar with before, never been in a situation where I needed to learn them. So that's been really beneficial for me.
The social aspect of being here in Seville and arriving with a group of people who you already have something in common with has been wonderful.
And we're just such a great support system for each other here. I've never once felt like I was isolated or alone or didn't have anyone to talk to. I've always felt like I have a support system and people helping me through this time here. So it's been amazing.
It's actually like one of the best parts of it because everyone is just so great.
Every time I go out the front door, like I see like someone that I know, which is really rare if you're going to like a foreign country. It's really nice, and it just means that like you're never going to feel too isolated in a place that like maybe you're not that good at the language, or you know maybe like you just don't know anyone. So it's really good if you can like just have like a small community, especially because the flats are all so close to each other. Everyone really just like can just meet up and have like a drink outside or a coffee, and just like it's so close that you can just go back home and do some work, and it's not really an issue.
Yeah, it's just been, I've been just really happy to have everyone meet in groups at the weekends and different things. Like it's been a great support.
For me, I think this placement here has given me a little bit more belief in myself and has given me more experience and confidence.
I don't really want to think about when this is over. Like I love my new life here and I can't imagine it changing, but I think after this experience I would like to live in Spain, and I'm gonna try and go home and get everything organised and kind of try and come back and live in Spain, which I think has been a really good outcome of this programme.
I live in Mayo, but I am open to living in Ireland, or through this experience I'm thinking maybe even England or somewhere else in Europe. So I've just been putting junior graphic designer Europe into my search engine to see what comes up, and what I find interesting about Googling certain job descriptions is that it's telling me what they're looking for. So now I can figure out what they need from me and I can learn it before I start applying. So my plan is to start looking for work basically after this.
I really cannot believe how lucky I am to have received an opportunity like this. and for it to be in something I'm so passionate about is really, really amazing.